Hello everyone, and welcome to season 3 of Paula's Kitchen. We started this just about a year ago. It's now May 2021, season 3, Studio K, and we are in a new location, first episode. Now the night you watch this, or the day you watch this, is going to be Cinco de Mayo, which is a wonderful Mexican fiesta. So I decided to go with the theme and make something south of the border for our meal. I also realized I have never made a casserole on Paula's Kitchen. I love casseroles. I love one-dish meals, love to throw it in the oven and forget it. And this is going to be one of those. It's very healthy, hearty, full of great flavors. So let's talk about the ingredients. I got this off the Well Plated website, and I will put that link in the description box along with the recipe. But look at these ingredients. We've got, as a base, we've got some lean ground beef, some fresh made brown rice, and we're going to use refried beans. We're going to season it with all kinds of wonderful things. You can see I've got a bunch of herbs and spices. We've got bell pepper, red and green. We've got onion, we've got garlic, and we are going to lighten it up with some Greek yogurt, and we're going to top things with some cheesy cheddar and mozzarella. I am really excited to give this recipe a try. I think it's going to just have this wonderful fragrance as we're preparing it. So let's get started on Mexican casserole. Here we are standing at a new stove. Same Paula, same favorite apron. Let's get going. First of all, a couple things we had to do ahead of time. The brown rice is meant to be already cooked. So I've already prepared that, and I've measured out 2 cups, which is what my recipe calls for. I've just turned on the oven at 350 degrees. That's what we're going to need for our casserole once it's assembled. And I've also done all my veggie cut-ups. I have cut up 1 bell pepper, red, 1 green, an onion, and 2 cloves of garlic. And we also have a bunch of cool herbs to put in here. So let's get started. Let me turn my burner on. Wow, this goes quick. What do you think about that, cameraman? No delay. I need a tablespoon of olive oil. And because this is a really healthy recipe, we are using a 90-10 ground beef mixture, 90% meat, 10% fat. So this is really going to be a good for you recipe. First up, I am going to let this oil get going for a moment, and then I'm going to grab my onions, peppers, onions and both my peppers actually. So let me toss in the red. And I did kind of a coarse chop on this because it is a casserole, and you know, why not have it look beautiful and colorful. And my onion as well. Let me just double check. Onion, peppers, and saute till softened, about 5 minutes. So basically these are my aromatics that are going to be flavoring my ground beef once I put it in the frying pan. And oh, I dropped, you know, if I don't drop a couple things on the floor, I'm not doing it right. But isn't this colorful and fragrant already? It's already a fiesta. All right, you guys, I am going to keep an eye on this for the next 5 minutes, and we're going to sweat these down a little bit. I will see you in a moment. Been about 5 or 6 minutes, and these lovely veggies have sweated a little bit. Time for me to crumble my beef into the frying pan. So this is just a pound of the lean ground beef, as I said. Get that going in here. And then I pre-measured, since I have a bunch of these spices, I pre-measured them all, so we'll be able to just go over them with you one by one as we're adding them to the skillet. All right. I will go wash my hands in a moment. Let me just wipe them for a second though for now. Alrighty, let me read you these herbs and spices as we go. First of all, we need 2 tablespoons, yes, I said tablespoons, of chili powder. I had to go buy all these fresh because I didn't have any of these in my pantry. That's a lot of chili powder. Gulp. Smells amazing. Next, I have 1.5 teaspoons of cumin. I've never cooked with cumin, so here we go with the cumin. Next up, I have a 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt and a 1/2 teaspoon of fresh ground pepper. So I will add those to my skillet. And then last, I have 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. I have a feeling this is going to have some heat to it. I'm going to accompany our meal with a fresh fruit salad with some berries, and I think we're going to be glad that'll kind of offset the heat from this dish. Alrighty, let me give all of this a stir. My goodness. So this needs another 5 or 6 minutes or so. I need to brown the beef completely, and then at the last we're going to toss in our 2 cloves of garlic. But for now, let me brown all of this, and again, I'll see you in 5 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this beautiful goodness in this skillet. It made kind of a little sauce with a little bit of liquid in here and all those herbs and spices. Oh my goodness, it smells amazing. The last addition to our skillet is the garlic, and all we have to do is toss it in, and it's 2 cloves minced, and we're just going to toss that in and just cook it for about a minute. Not long at all on the garlic. I have to tell you folks, we've been here for just over a month and life has been so crazy busy. I can count on one hand the number of times I've cooked anything in this kitchen. Sad to say. I have done a couple of our famous Sunday breakfasts that Dale loves. But other than that, I haven't really done much in the way of baking or cooking. So I am very, very glad to be here today, breaking in the kitchen and having you along for the ride. Alrighty, I think that's good on the garlic. That's close enough to a minute. Now, at this point, we are done with the cooking. Let me turn the flame off on this. And we are going to add 2 more ingredients to the skillet before we begin to assemble the casserole. The first one is 2 cups of our brown rice that has already been pre-cooked. I just steamed that rice on top of the stove according to package directions. So that's the rice. It really came out fluffy and flaky, which I love about rice. And then the second is our binder. It's 1 cup of non-fat plain Greek yogurt. So that's going to be amazing in our casserole and kind of hold everything together. So I always try to do things for the overhead camera, but sometimes being a right-handed gal, I just have to do what works for me. And that is my yogurt component. And then it just gets a big stir. Let me get that going. Wow. So you can see how this is a wonderful one-dish meal because you've got your protein, you've got your carbs with the rice, you've got vegetables, and we haven't even talked yet about the refried beans that are going in this. So, all right, the next time you see me, I am going to be in casserole assembly mode. I'll see you in a moment. Change quarters. Here we are at the island, and I'm going to assemble my casserole. And there were some ingredients that I didn't talk about when I did my overview that I'm going to talk about now. First of all, let me just use some cooking spray. Spray a 13x9 casserole dish. Take care of that. Now, the base of my casserole is going to be some refried black beans, the low-fat variety. So those get spread along the bottom of my casserole as the bottom layer. When you go to the Latin American section at our grocery store, there are many, many, many versions of refried beans. I'm sure pinto beans would work as well. So this is more or less like spreading a pie crust, I guess, huh? I never said season 3 was necessarily going to be all dishes I've never made before, but this is certainly one that I have never attempted. So let me get this spread out, and then I have measured out some sharp cheddar cheese and some mozzarella, and that goes on as the next layer on top of my beans. So I have a 1/4 cup of the sharp cheddar, 1/4 cup of the mozzarella, and that goes on as my next layer. Now I have another thing from the Latin American section. It is Rotel tomatoes with green chilies, and you have a choice here with this recipe. Depends how much heat you want. I chose the mild. You can also get the medium. So the Rotel tomatoes go on next. Let me just double check that they don't need to be drained, and they don't. So we're going to use them, juice and all. Tomatoes on and done. All right, and now next up comes my amazing concoction that I made at the stove, which is the ground beef and all the aromatics, the rice, and the Greek yogurt. I'm trying not to turn the pan the wrong way, so how about that? For a view for you all, hopefully you're seeing that. This looks and smells awesome. And it's definitely filling every bit of my 13x9 pan. That is it for that layer. And then the top layer is going to be cheese that we're actually, after we bake it, we're actually going to put it under the broiler for a moment and get that all browned up and sizzling. So now I'm going to use double the cheese I did before. So it's a 1/2 cup of the cheddar and a 1/2 cup of the shredded mozzarella. This is a 6-serving recipe, and believe it or not, the recipe says it's only about 450 calories a serving. So for dinner, I don't think that's bad at all. I think that's amazing. Alrighty folks, I'm about ready to pop this fella in the oven. Here we are at the oven. I'm going to put this in a 350-degree oven for 15 minutes because basically everything in here is already cooked, and then we're going to finish it in the broiler. I have to use these mitts today because Disneyland opened this weekend. Yay! Mickey and Minnie. Yes, I know. Push start. New oven. I'm a rookie. All right. So let's take a look at how this came out after the bake. Looks wonderful. So let me just put it right up here under the broiler for an additional 3 to 4 minutes, and we are ready for dinner. We'll see you then. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think of this? All it needs now is a little bit of a garnish. I've cut up some fresh cut cilantro that I picked up at the store and some fresh green onions, again, just for some garnish and some color. This casserole has to rest for about 5 minutes. And we are going to have one heck of an amazing Mexican fiesta for Cinco de Mayo. And we pulled out the Vivir tequila. We're going to have some tequila and lime as well. Yum!
This was the first time in the new house. I'm exhausted.
This was hard. I can't even tell you how we scrambled to make this happen. I just hope when he sits down to edit that we have something. Here's to new kitchens, new houses, new seasons.
Cinco de Mayo.
Yes.
All right. Oh. Ooh. That is so good.
Delightful.
It's going to be I only have the one camera going, so this is the delicious dinner. I'm just going to take a bite of it so that you can see that I'm taking it right off the plate. And it's pretty hot.
Yeah, we let that rest for about 5 minutes.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
What do you think? I'm
Wow.
excited. Oh, that is fantastic.
Oh, it's got a little bite to it,
It's
too.
got a little bite on the back of your throat as it goes down, but oh my gosh, is that wonderful. Oh, I'm going to eat every bit of this and more. And then, like I said, we have a little fruit salad on the side to kind of cool the heat. Got some fresh berries from the grocery store.
So,
Wow.
So let us eat our dinner, and first of all, we want to thank you all for joining us on the season 3 opener of Paula's Kitchen, right?
We shall continue, we shall prevail, and we will perfect as time goes on.
Yes, I already made a list of things I have to go to the camera store for to make this work in
Our
this kitchen.
son is going to laugh.
Yeah, he's going to laugh because he sort of told us what we needed to do. I don't know. I think this is amazing.
It is amazing, and I can't wait to dig in. Make this casserole. It explodes with flavor.
Absolutely.
And it was not hard. Super easy.
Hope you had a good time. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye, everybody.